Hello and welcome to Vanguard Live Top 10. My name is Gift Mac. How was your weekend? I hope you had a splendid one. Today Vanguard Live is bringing to you top 10 human rights activists. These days you tune into your radio station, you flip through your social media handles, and what you see is issues of debt, insecurity, and so on and so forth. And then one would just wonder, do we no longer have human rights activists out there? If they are out there, are they really working? What are they actually doing to protect humans, to protect our lives? Of course, they are human rights activists, so they should be there to protect us. But then away from that, if you're looking at human rights activists that actually contributed a lot during Nigeria actually getting their independence, during the democracy era, the human rights activists that worked really hard for us to actually gain independence and enjoy democracy that we are enjoying today in Nigeria. And of course, the comment section is open for you to drop your comments in there to tell us, do you think these human activists that we have now are really doing a lot? Do you think they are working? Of course, I'll be here, like I always say, I full ground to take those comments. All right, let's get down to work. And of course, I have to say shout out to Chris Adetayo, a communication and international relations expert. This compilation is one of his contributions to say we are Nigerian, and I'm happy to be Nigerian, and thank God for Nigeria's independence 60th anniversary. So let's go down to number 10. The number 10 on our list is Timothy AKINOLA AGUDA. He was a Yoruba Nigerian jurist. He served as the first African Chief Justice of Botswana, a Chief Judge of Ondo State, and was the first Director General of Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, arguably the finest jurist to not make it to the Supreme Court. He was affectionately referred to as Nigerian's Lord Denning. He was a Nigerian he was, of course, an activist judge who regularly gave judgments that favored civil rights over government powers. Many of his judgments remain reference point in Nigerian case law. A National Order of Merit winner, amongst other numerous accolades. Throughout his legal career, he was known as a cerebral jurist and lawyer who embraced radicalism, especially during period of military rule in Nigeria. To AGUDA, the lack of thorough knowledge of judicial norms and precedents by the common African man or woman leads to the abuse of vital human rights by the government, a situation that can be fueled by poverty, which allows many to rot in jails without due process or even a notice of trial, as they do not have the money to get an astute lawyer or the connections to effect changes to their situation. His defense of human rights of suspects was a crucial issue that was prominent during his days as a judge. He is the father of Abuja as the federal capital. We talked about the reason why most people actually stay in jail, because they lack is due to poverty. People just be like, this guy did this guy did that, and you are throwing him to jail because some people do not actually have knowledge about what the whole legal system is all about. Their freedom, ways to defend themselves when they know they are right, and people lack such knowledge, and also due to poverty where you're not able to actually get a good lawyer to proceed over your case, and you end up going to jail. This was what he did. So he actually took he actually worked against that. He stood for those people that actually lacked those things, and he wants them to be educated. He tried his possible best to educate them on things like this. You should know your fundamental human right. You should know your right at every given point in time, and know how to stand up for yourself. All right, let's go to number 9. The number 9 on our list is BEKO RANSOME-KUTI. Yeah, I know that Kuti name sounds familiar. When you hear about Kuti, your name it goes to Fela Kuti. Of course, Fela Kuti is a brother to Ransom. Dr. Bello Kolari RANSOME-KUTI was a Nigerian medical doctor known for his work as human rights activist and labor leader. He was deeply affected by the events of 1977 when unknown soldiers took the life of his mom and destroyed his medical clinic. From then, BEKO took off, first becoming chairman of the Lagos branch of the Nigerian Medical Association, that's the NMA. In this role, he railed against government neglect of the health sector. In 1984, his brother Fela Kuti was arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison by the government of General Muhammadu Buhari. RANSOME-KUTI was also jailed and his medical association was banned. BEKO was released in 1985 when Buhari was deposed by General Ibrahim Babangida. Babangida then invited him to participate in the government. RANSOME-KUTI helped to formed Nigeria's first human rights organization, the Campaign for Democracy, which in 1993 opposed the dictatorship of General Sani Abacha. In between his time in jail, he claimed he chaired the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, that's the CDHR, and was a member of the group that founded the Campaign for Democracy, one of the heroes of our democratic struggle. You know, we talk about BEKO RANSOME-KUTI. He's one of the human rights activists that fought for medical section. Health is one fundamental thing. You need health to do many things. You need to be healthy to even achieve whatever you want to achieve. So he is one person actually fought for health. Like government should look into health section. We should ensure that we have good equipment. People's lives should be protected. Health is one thing that he did, and then of course that was a very good one. So let's go into number 7. So number 7 on our list is number 8 rather on our list. It's Tai Sholari. You know, Tai Sholari, the full name is Augustus Taiwo. That's Tai Sholari. Was a Nigerian educator and author. He established the famous Mayflower School, Ikenne, Ogun State in 1956, and of course that school is still existing till date. Let me say he was an educationist, a humanist, and public commentator, and why word of his exploit as an economistic principle spread wide, it is as a social critic and crusader against despotic leaders that Sholani came to be nationally known. He regularly wrote claiming articles about the government of the day and was known to personally distribute these on roadsides. For his troubles, of course, he spent time in jail at various times. His modest life also endeared him to most, and tales of his squashbuckling style remain a favorite folklore. You know, talking about Tai Sholani, outside the fact that he wrote articles to actually fight against government dictatorship, he went extra mile. The extra mile he went was that he wrote these things, printed this thing, and then went to the street to share it. Like, he didn't wait for vendors. He on his own, he was the writer and also the vendor. He went out there to share this thing because he wants people to be educated. He wants people to actually stand up and fight for their rights, stand up and know their rights. You know, that was what he did. So that him doing that alone is something that permitting to just give him, you know, me, I like doing this, do that to him, and then Baba, well done. All right, let's go into number 7. Number 7 on our list is Ayo Obe. You know, Ayo Ogushola Obe is a Nigerian lawyer, a human rights activist, president of the Civil Liberties Organization, that's the CLO, at a time when women were not so upfront in the struggle, a supremacy strong voice in the days when dictatorship sought to reign supreme in the land. As president of Civil Liberties Organization from 1995 to 2001, she helped to midwife the democracy that we now enjoy. From 1999 to 2001, she chaired the Transition Monitoring Group, an election monitoring / democracy building coalition of independent Nigerian, that's the NGOs. She represented Nigerian human rights, that's NGOs, on the country's police service commission from November 2001 to 2006. She was chairman of the steering committee of the World Movement for Democracy from 2004 to 2008, and an ex-officio was on the African Democracy Forum steering committee, and remains an important member of human rights community. Talking about Ayo Obe, you know, before now, women were seen as, let me use the word, in the kitchen, just stay at the back, and the men, with due respect, always front as the main people. But with people like Ayo Obe, she actually came out as a woman and said, women, we are all humans, we are all the same, and of course we all deserve same rights. So she actually paved way for most women right now that actually occupy big positions in the country, and possibly, can I say, around the world. Of course, her contributions also helped. So let's go into number 6. The number 6 on our list is OLISA AGBAKOBA. Yeah, is a Nigerian human rights activist, a maritime lawyer, one of the founders of the civil rights movement in Nigeria in its modern form, co-founder of the civil liberties organization, that's the CLO. He also founded Human Rights Law Service, that the Holy Laws, and United Action for Democracy. He was also the founder of the United Action for Democracy and the Zambia Pan-African Human Rights Organization, AfroNet. He was a defender for the civil rights activist Kensaro Wiwa, who was executed and was arrested several times because of his pro-democratic activist. The story of June 12 and the campaign for its actualization will not be complete without mentioning the brave efforts of this great man, that's the OLISA AGBAKOBA. Mentioning the he's a very great man, one of the few that stayed back as Sani's, Abacha's, and murderers' dogs went about killing, maiming, and detaining opposition leaders. He's also a strong advocate for the abolition of capital punishment, served as NBA president. In 1990, he was honored the Royal Baldwin Medal for Civil Liberties. In 1993, he was honored with Human Rights Award of the German Association of Justice, and in 1996, he was given the HMP's Award. HMP's Award. This man, OLISA AGBAKOBA, one of the people that really stood, despite the fact that most people were being killed, are being killed, and of course this actually healed their head because they don't want to get killed. But this particular man stood his ground because he knew what he was fighting for. He stood to actually, this is what I'm going for, I know what I'm going for, despite that, I am this, I am in it, and I'm in it. And of course that was a very good job, because if everybody had hidden their heads, and then of course some things we enjoy, some freedom we enjoy right now in Nigeria, maybe it would not even be there. But with people like this that actually stood their ground and stood on what they believe, we are able to enjoy the democracy that we enjoy now. All right, at this point we'll take a short break, but then the comments should be coming in, because I'm here to take those comments, bring those comments coming in. As we take a short break, we'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Vanguard Live Top 10. My name is Giftsmack. So far so good. Looking at human rights activists, people that played fundamental roles in the democracy that we enjoy right now in Nigeria. Talking about great men and women that actually knew what they wanted for the country, and they stood by it despite everything and thing they had to go through. And of course, number 10 on the list was Timothy AKINOLA, AGUDA, and the number 9 is BEKO RANSOME-KUTI, and the number 8 was Tai Sholari, and the number 7 Ayo Obe, And the number 6 was OLISA AGBAKOBA. And right now we are going into our number 5. But in case you're just joining us, you're not so late because we still have more and more for you. So our number 5 on the list is ALAO, aka BASHORUN. You know, in Nigerian law, there is civil rights advocate and labor leader, the father of the modern Nigerian Bar Association, that's the NBA. His tenure as NBA president was tumultuous as he used the NBA's considerable platform to oppose the several draconian policies and practices of the military government of Ibrahim Babangida. With him as head, the NBA did a 180-degree turn in its approach to right advocacy, becoming a powerful pressure group that put fear into the hearts of government. He is now the yardstick with which every NBA president is measured unforgettably. Talking about him, BASHORUN is somebody that actually used his position. When he emerged as the NBA's president, he actually used that position to actually put fear in the hearts of government. Like, because a government doesn't mean you have to do this, doesn't mean you have to do that and go scot-free, doesn't mean you have to trample on people's rights and go scot-free. He actually used his position as an NBA's president to actually fight dictatorship in the country. And of course, that was a very good one from him. So we are going into a number 4. The number 4 on our list is TESLIM OLAWALE ELIAS. Of course, was a Nigerian jurist, Attorney General of Chief Justice of Nigeria, and the Judge and President of International Court of Justice. Judge and first Black President of the World Court. That's from 1976 to 1991. Elias was special, a rare breed, of course. His contribution to the development of law in Nigeria right from colonial times is probably unmatched. In 1951, Elias was awarded a UNESCO fellowship to undertake research into legal, economic, and social problems of Africa. And of course, this is what this TESLIM did. What he did was it helped. Actually, I'm talking about, like, if you are in a position, it's not about held in a position. The question is the position that you held. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? What are the impacts? Let me use the right word. What are the impacts you have? What people remember you for tomorrow? When will they, as I mentioned, they put their name, talking about how they use their positions to actually fight, actually protect lives, rights and the rest. Now the question is, you are this, you are that, the position you hold, what are we going to be remembered? What are you going to be remembered for? That's the big question. I hope you learn from these people. And of course, I'm going to our number 3. Number 3 on our list is Benjamin NWABUEZE. Of course, a professor of law, National Order of Merit winner, the proud author of over 30 books and treatises with an average extent of 400 pages. They include the Machinery of Justice, the Constitutional Law of the Nigerian Republic, Constitutional Law of the Nigerian Republic, of course, Nigerian Land Law and Constitutionalism in the Emergent State, arguably Nigerian's greatest law academic and the first to get the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, that's the SAN, for its academic works. Key influence on several constitutional drafts since 1979. Secretary, later chairman of the Patriot, an association of statesmen and women advocating for good governance. He is equally a recipient of the prestigious Nigerian National Merit Award as the NNMA, still on it, using the position to do something. So let's go into our number 2. The number 2 on our list is Rotimi Williams. That's Chief Frederick Rotimi Alade Williams was a prominent Nigerian lawyer who was the first Nigerian to become a senior advocate of Nigeria. He was widely recognized as the doyen of the legal professions. Over 50 years of quality service at the bar earned him that. His name can be found in many landmark cases, and he was indisputably the finest lawyer around for so long. In Ghani's word, he is one of the greatest legal minds in the world, not only in Nigeria. And of course, Frederick ROTIMI Williams chaired the Constitution Drafting Committee that put together the 1979 Constitution, a Queen's Council, and the joint first senior advocate of Nigeria. That's due to his brilliance. Somebody that actually wrote, you have a 30, that is what he actually did. So right now we are going into a number one, and of course you viewers have a lot of a role to play in all of this. So we'll not say now this is how we compile it and we're bringing it to you, but of course you can say, you are free to give us your list, tell us, I know this should be here, that should be there, this is the main list, this should be the list, this should be removed, and this should be added. That is why we are here. You are important, we love you, of course your view matters a lot, your contributions matters a lot. So that's why the comment section is open for you to please put those comments down there, put smiles on our face when we see it. All right, let's go to our number one. Our number one on the list is Gani FAWEHINMI, of course, the senior advocate of Nigeria, was a Nigerian author, a publisher, a philanthropist, of course, a social critic, human and rights lawyer, politician, and prisoner of conscience. He used the instrumentality of the law to oppose just about every terrible government, and through his efforts, many case laws developed that enriched Nigerians' jurisprudence and increased the rights that Nigerians enjoy today. It is important to do justice to Gani the Great in a few sentences. He may well go down as the greatest Nigerian of the post-colonial era. The Hidden Resource Center, with the support of MacArthur Foundation, has decided to institute an annual award called the Gani FAWEHINMI Impact and Integrity Award. That's GFIIA. The award, which is named in honor of late human rights activist, that's Chief Gani FAWEHINMI, is designed to reward acts of integrity, accountability, and whistleblowing to deserving Nigerians of imputable characters, courage, selflessness, and honesty. And of course, this award aims to encourage, promote, celebrate, and protect the uncommon principles of openness, honesty, probity, accountability, and transparency in public and private life, and whistleblowing to deserve persons and bodies. And of course, that is Gani did a very good job as a human rights activist, to a point where as a HIDA annual award, which is that is even named after him, to award people for transparency, just to grow that legacy of transparency, accountability, whistleblowing. If you see something wrong, say it. Help people. So this award is on. And of course, that is all we have for you today on our Vanguard Live Top 10. I remain Gift Mark, and one more shout out again to Chris Adetayo. And of course, follow us on our social media handles displayed on your screen, as well visit our website at www.vanguardngr.com to get more of our stories, global stories, and things happening worldwide. Visit that website. Till I come your way next time, Gift Mark, and shout out to the guy behind the camera. Do you know what the camera movement does? It's a bye from me.